There are 5 drinks you can make tomorrow morning in about 2 minutes that change whether your body spends the next hour storing belly fat or burning it. And I don't mean the soft fat under your skin. I mean visceral fat, the deep fat that wraps around your organs and pushes your stomach out from the inside, the genuinely dangerous kind. Now here's where I'm going to be different from most of what you see online. I'm going to give you the 5 drinks, and I'm also going to give you the truth. And the truth is that no drink melts belly fat. If a video promises you that, close it. But the right morning drink does something real. It flattens a blood sugar spike that tells your body to store visceral fat in the first place. If you get a high spike, your body stores fat. A calm, flat morning, your body burns instead, and that's the whole game. I call it the 5 flat line method. And stick with me to the end because I'll show you exactly how to stack these into one real morning routine. You can start tomorrow. And by the way, you're not meant to drink all 5. Welcome to Human Health Zone, the channel built around understanding what's actually happening inside your body. And if that's useful to you, hit like on this video and subscribe. It genuinely helps more people find this. And before we go further, there's something I want you to know. Human Health Zone exists purely as a fan channel, built to give credit where it's due. And the framework you're about to hear today comes from the teaching of Dr. Berg, DC, whose way of looking at blood sugar and fat storage as one connected system is the entire reason this 5-drink method works the way it does. And there's one detail about drink number 1 specifically that almost nobody online is talking about. And once you see the experiment I'm about to show you, you'll understand exactly why it matters more than any of the others. Let me show you exactly what I mean. I set up a small experiment. This is regular cola, about 9 teaspoons of sugar in a can. And these 2 funnels represent your esophagus, and this mason jar represents your stomach. And these 2 funnels represent 2 versions of your morning. In version 1, you have a drink of cola, no barrier, and all that sugar hits your bloodstream at once. And that's the spike, the signal to store fat. Same cola, same sugar. But now watch what happens if you add psyllium gel in the way first. We add the psyllium husk into the stomach first, and you can see it making its way through the funnel. Now we add the cola on top of it, and look at the difference. The cola is entering slowly now. Nothing gets removed. Nothing gets flushed away. The cola is just arriving slowly instead of all at once. And that right there is the entire point of this video. When it comes to visceral fat, you have to fight it from 2 angles at once. And most people only think about one, which is exactly why they stay stuck. Angle 1 is you stop accumulating new visceral fat. Because every time your blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin. And insulin is a signal to store visceral fat. So every spike quietly adds a problem. But here's the part that connects everything. While your insulin is high, your body physically cannot burn fat efficiently. Insulin is the gatekeeper, and as long as it's elevated, the door to fat burning stays shut. Keep insulin low and flat, and you're not just stopping new storage. You're unlocking the burning of what's already there. You're burning the candle at both ends. These 5 drinks are angle 1. They flatten the spike and keep your insulin calm, and that's what makes angle 2 even possible. A 2024 systematic review, pulling together 19 randomized controlled trials on psyllium, found it significantly lowered fasting blood sugar and improved insulin resistance markers across the studies. And in a separate placebo-controlled trial, 6 grams a day measurably shifted fat distribution away from central belly-forward storage in that population study from a fiber, not a drug. So the question I get more than any other about psyllium husk is, when do you drink it? 10 to 15 minutes before you eat, not with your food. And think back to the demo I just showed you. The gel had to be sitting in the funnel before the cola hit it. It's the same thing in your stomach. The gel has to be formed and waiting before breakfast arrives. And if you're too late, you've missed a window. So here's how to make it. 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk, roughly 5 grams, not a tablespoon. Gently stirred into at least 12 ounces of water, about 350 milliliters. Warm water works fine. Stir it, then drink it immediately, right as you've mixed it, and follow it with more water after, because it gels fast, and if you sip it slowly, you'll be drinking sludge, which can actually be dangerous. If you're new to fiber, stay at 1 teaspoon for the first week. Some early bloating is normal, and build up slowly from there. And I do need to warn you, If you have an inflammatory gut condition like irritable bowel syndrome or Crohn's disease, check with your doctor before starting this one. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and isn't a substitute for personalized medical advice. So please talk to your own doctor before making significant changes, especially if you're managing an existing condition. If this is landing for you so far, a like genuinely helps, and let me know in the comments if you want more of these breakdowns. So that's drink 1. Drink number 2 does the same job, but it brings something Psyllium can't. Drink number 2 is a chia seed drink. Chia works on the same principle you just saw. It's a soluble fiber and it gels. Add water to chia, and about 20 minutes later it becomes a pudding. Same gel, same slow drip into your stomach. I won't repeat the mechanism since you already understand it, but chia specifically reduces the blood sugar spike from a meal by roughly 22 to 30%. That's close to a quarter of your spike gone. And chia brings 2 things Psyllium doesn't: protein and omega-3 fats. So you're flattening the spike and getting real nutrition in the same glass. And on an honest note, chia does have a reputation as an appetite suppressant, but the research backing that specific claim is fairly thin. So I'm not going to oversell it. It'll flatten your spike with some nutritional bonuses attached. It's not a magic appetite switch. So 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, about 12 grams, in 8 to 10 ounces of water, roughly 300 milliliters. Stir for about 30 seconds. Let sit for 5 minutes. Then stir again, and a squeeze of lemon is optional if you want it. Same starting rule as the Psyllium. If you're new to fiber, begin with a teaspoon. That's drink number 2. Drink 3 has the strongest evidence specifically for visceral fat, and it's probably already in your kitchen. Drink number 3 is Matcha. Matcha is green tea, but instead of steeping leaves and discarding them, you're drinking the entire leaf ground into powder, which means it's far more concentrated. The active compounds here are a class called catechins, and the specific one researchers focus on most is called EGCG. Here's why Matcha earns its own spot in a visceral fat conversation specifically. Most fat loss claims out there about total body weight, but this is different. A randomized controlled trial over 12 weeks gave adults carrying high visceral fat a catechin-rich drink, and it produced a measurable drop specifically in visceral fat, the fat around the organs, while a control group saw no significant change. That's a meaningful result from 1 drink alone. I want to be honest here too, though. Not every trial on Matcha agrees. The ones that work tended to use higher catechin doses, and a single wheat cup typically delivers, which is exactly why Matcha is the smart way to drink your tea. Since you're consuming the whole concentrated leaf, you're far more likely to actually hit a meaningful dose of that catechin. The second reason Matcha works is as much about how it feels as what it does. Matcha gives you caffeine, but it also gives you an amino acid called L-theanine, which takes the edge off, giving you calmer, steadier energy with less of the jittery crash you might get around mid-morning. And that matters, because crashes and stress are exactly what drive the cravings that quietly feed visceral fat storage. So if a kettle's involved, let it cool for a minute or 2 after boiling. You want around 175 degrees Fahrenheit or about 80 degrees Celsius. Not boiling, since boiling water makes matcha bitter and damages the very compound you're drinking it for. Whisk it into a paste first, then top it up with the rest of your water. And please skip the sugar, since sugar creates exactly the spike this whole video is built around avoiding. Let me know in the comments which of these 5 you already drink in the morning. I read every single comment, and I'm genuinely curious. That's Matcha, drink number 3. Drink 4 is one I was genuinely skeptical of myself, until I actually read the research. Drink number 4 is apple cider vinegar, and the data here is surprisingly strong. Vinegar meaningfully blunts both the blood sugar and insulin response to a meal, both of the exact things this entire video is about. The active compound is acetic acid, which is what gives vinegar its sharpness, and what it does is slow how quickly your stomach empties, help your muscles take up glucose more efficiently, and nudge an enzyme called AMPK. Think of AMPK as your body's low fuel warning light. When it switches on, the message is stop storing and start burning, and remember that name, because it plays a role in the next drink too. One honest note here. Vinegar's real benefit is lowering the spike from a specific meal. It's not a permanent fix for insulin resistance. It's a spike tool. But consistent spike control every morning is exactly what we're building toward. Now, this is a genuine safety warning, and I'm not skipping it. Apple cider vinegar is acidic. Never drink it undiluted. It can damage tooth enamel and irritate your throat. Dilution is non-negotiable. 1 tablespoon of the cloudy, unfiltered kind in a large glass of water, around 250 milliliters. Drink it through a straw to protect your teeth, and don't brush your teeth immediately afterward. And if you have a history of acid reflux or stomach ulcers, skip this one entirely. You still got the other 4. That's drink number 4. Drink 5 is the one that will probably surprise you most, and I already drink this every single morning myself. You've just likely never been told why it actually works. Drink 5 is black coffee. Yes, coffee on a fat loss list. You probably expected me to tell you coffee is the problem, and it isn't. Everyone gives caffeine the credit, but for visceral fat specifically, caffeine isn't the main story. It's a compound called chlorogenic acid, and coffee is one of the richest sources on the planet. The evidence here is strong enough that I want you to actually hear the numbers. In a randomized, double-blind controlled trial of 150 overweight adults, one group drank coffee high in chlorogenic acid, and the other drank coffee low in chlorogenic acid, otherwise identical, and 12 weeks later, the high chlorogenic acid group had significantly less visceral fat, a smaller waist, and lower body weight than the other group. Same drink. The only real difference was the chlorogenic acid, and visceral fat moved with it. Chlorogenic acid does 2 specific things. It slows glucose absorption in your gut, flattening the spike. The same job every drink on this list is doing. And it also works on that same AMPK pathway from before, nudging your body toward burning fat instead of storing it. Coffee earns its place on this list for the exact same reason as the other 4. It's not magic, it's spike control, but only if you don't undo it. So it has to be black coffee. The moment you add sugar or a sweet syrup, you created the exact spike you drank the coffee to avoid in the first place. A small splash of milk is fine, but going fully black gets you the full benefit. Sugars and syrups are out. And don't make coffee the very first thing you do the moment you wake up. Wait about 30 to 60 minutes. Since your cortisol is already naturally high right after waking, and you don't need to stack caffeine on top of that. If you're caffeine sensitive, decaf still carries the chlorogenic acid and still carries the benefit we're after. And that's all 5. Now, let me show you how this actually fits together, because you're not meant to drink all 5 at once. Nobody's drinking 5 things before work. And you don't need all of them, you need the method. And the method is 3 simple moves. Move 1. The moment you wake up, drink plain water, just rehydrate. Move 2. Before breakfast or your first meal, you need a spike flattener, Psyllium, or Chia in water 10 to 15 minutes before you eat, so the gel is formed and waiting the moment food arrives, exactly like the funnel demonstration. Move 3. With breakfast itself, your warm drink, matcha or black coffee, and apple cider vinegar, if you're using it, goes alongside that first meal too, never on an empty stomach. That's it. Water and fiber gel before food, a warm drink with food. 3 moves, not 5 drinks, and that's the 5 flatline method. You can start tomorrow without buying anything exotic. And remember the 2 angles. This is what ties it all together. None of these drinks are magic bullets. I told you that at the very start, and I meant it. What they actually do is help you hit both angles at once. They stop new visceral fat from accumulating, and by keeping insulin low and flat, they free your body to burn what's already there. The candle burns from both ends. Do this every single morning, and it adds up quickly, quietly, and steadily in exactly the direction you want. If you got value from this, here's the one thing I'll ask. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to Human Health Zone, and turn on notifications so you catch the next one. And if any part of this hit close to home, if you've been quietly worried about your own visceral fat, drop a comment and share this with someone who needs to see it too. And one more thing, if there's a specific drink or food you want broken down like this next, with the actual studies behind it, comment Dr. Mike, break down more, and tell me which one. Whichever gets the most requests, I'll cover next. Last thing, tell me in the comments which city or country you're watching from tonight. I genuinely love seeing how far this reaches. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, especially when you don't feel like it. Cheers.